morning, girls. It's Wednesday. So this week we're doing Hunger Games tag in preparation for the release of the movie, which is this Friday. I'm so excited. I'm going to see it at midnight tomorrow. Start on this tag because I only have 4 minutes, so I'm going to have to talk really fast to get all of this information in. Go! What is your favorite book in the Hunger Games trilogy? The first one for sure. I always seem to pick first books, but I don't know why. I guess because we get introduced to all the characters in the cool world and stuff, and Catching Fire is all about that stupid love triangle, and Mockingjay I don't remember much about because I've only read it once, and I read it really fast because I really wanted to know what happened. How long would you last in the Hunger Games? Not very. I'm incredibly weak and not very knowledgeable about survival, so I'd probably book it away from the cornucopia and then eat something that I shouldn't rather than getting killed by one of the tributes. What is the strangest thing you thought would happen in the books but didn't? I think I might have been expecting Peeta to die, which sounds horrible, I know, but I was sort of expecting that. How were you introduced to the Hunger Games? I think it was on a recommendation. I definitely didn't just pick it up at the bookstore. Favorite moment that happens in the Hunger Games? I was probably Rue's death. Not because I like the fact that she died, because I'm just a horrible person, but because of the impact that it had. This felt like the first moment that Katniss stood up for herself and fought for what she believed in. It caused a huge change in her character and in the tone of the book because she was no longer fighting to survive, she was fighting to win and to make her mark on the Capitol. That and anything involving Finnick, because I love him. Favorite villain? President Snow, because he's so diabolically evil. You might have to choose? I hate choosing favorite characters. It makes me feel like I love some of them more than I do others, and I think that would make them feel bad. Like so many of them! Jeez. Madge, I believe her name was. She could make a fish out of anything, and she was pretty cool even though we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with her. And Finnick Odair, because he's just so funny. And maybe Peeta, and Katniss, and Gale. And all of them? What district would you live in? Probably District 8 because I like to do crafts and make things. What was the most emotional moment in the books for you? There were a lot of emotional moments in the book for me. Sometimes it just seemed to be like one huge, big angst fest. Probably Rue's death, or Madge's death, or Gale's death. Basically when any significant person that I liked died. I was a mess of tears while I was reading Mockingjay. I definitely remember that. But there were a lot of other emotionally charged moments in all of the other books. I have to say the most emotional moment for me was Rue's death. Maybe because of the way she died, maybe because of the aftermath, what Katniss did with the flowers, and the repercussions of which extended even into Catching Fire. I was definitely in tears this time around while reading it. What item from home would you take into the arena with you? Well, if I played a smaller instrument, I would like to take that, but because my instrument is so freaking large, it would just be unfeasible to do. Maybe a picture of some sort, friends and family, because that's more important to me than any object I could take into the arena. What was the most evil plan that someone made in the books? The creation of the Hunger Games? That can be counted, yes. Technically, the actual inception of the Hunger Games happened way before the books took place, but it's still a pretty evil plan. Like, what kind of monster do you have to be to come up with something like that? What are you looking to forward most in the films? The district costumes. No joke, I'm seriously excited. I guess just seeing the characters come to life and see how the actors portray them and what they do with their characters. Also, I'm seriously hoping for some badass visual effects. There's some cool links in the doobly-doo in regards to the Hunger Games if you want to check them out. That is all. Kylie, I'll see you tomorrow.
After getting all ready to go and I'm about to leave the house, I realized I forgot to film a challenge. Fail. So my challenge is I would like you to write a nerdy love letter and read it out to us. Perhaps you have a nerdy boy in mind. If you don't, you can write it to a fictional character or an imaginary boy or something like that. Or a girl if you swing that way. I'm not sure. I don't know. We're just gonna cover all our bases, okay? And the person who has to do that is Miranda.